What's that?
Speak for all three cameras.
Oh, okay. And so that was the one thing about this that I really, wanted to come and wanted to do it. And it was a couple of semesters ago, and I can't remember what class it was in. It was one of my writing classes. Maybe it was journalism or something like that. And I saw this girl beside me, and she was like doing some stuff, and I was like, it was for actually this class that we're doing, the 149. And she was like, told me about him. I was like, oh, we have fields,
So now that you're in the program here, are you finding it helpful?
Oh, big time. And one of the fundamental things is, coming from, television, coming from a professional background and knowing that side of it, but not having, the fundamentals, the portfolio to go out and, it's like, okay, here's, we were talking about that this morning because he was going to show me that Al Jazeera is looking for people. So Al Jazeera has picked up Current, and Current's expanding, and Current, so Al Jazeera America.
Yeah.
And one of the great things about them is they don't do commercials because they don't have to. They're funded by, so they don't have to do that. And so it's just an opportunity to really tell.
Interesting opportunity.
Yeah. And so that's what I was saying. I need a portfolio, and that's part of it. So can you tell us a little bit about how you came to the university, a little bit about your background?
Okay. I have been a librarian for a long time, actually. And out of library school, I had some jobs on the East Coast, but I really wanted to come out to California. Actually, I'd come to library school in California and went to the East Coast to get work and get experience, and then was able to relocate back out here. And I really wanted to work in a community college. I had worked in research libraries, and it's like, well, that's really nice, but I really want to be in a place where learning is really happening in a very vital way. My experience in the community colleges is particularly here at City College, is I'm in contact with people who really care about learning. This is what students come to City College to do. Getting the piece of paper, it's important, but it's not like a prestige university where the piece of paper itself will open doors. At a community college, really it's what you've learned that will open doors for you. And so the students here are very focused on what can they learn. And so working as a librarian, it's very rewarding to work with people who come in and who really want to find something out.
Have a curiosity.
Yeah, exactly, the curiosity.
So can you tell me a little bit about the Academic Senate and what it does?
The Academic Senate exists to represent the voice of faculty. It's an advisory organization. We don't represent faculty the way the union does, which is in working conditions and so forth. We represent faculty in terms of advising the administration and the Board of Trustees on policies that will affect student learning. And it's defined for us in law and regulation.
That was
what we need to do.
The Assembly Bill, right? What is it, 117 or something like that?
Right, 1725.
Yeah, 1725.
Put together back some time ago, and so it's, and actually Academic Senate has existed before that, but that codified. Here are the 10 areas in which Academic Senate is supposed to be making recommendations.
Mm-hmm. So when did you start working with the Academic Senate? When did your title come into play?
So I had been the Academic Senate at City College. The faculty elect an executive council of 29 members. And I was elected to the executive council in the 90s, and I served a couple terms, and then I went and did other things, and then I came back. I was elected to the executive council and elected president 3 years ago. Being elected president is a one-year term, so I've been, this is my third year as president.
Yeah. So what's the, for the Academic Senate and its structure and everything like that, what's its importance through this transitional period we're in right now, where we're being forced to kind of take mandates that we've already existed? What's the
So we have a definite, several roles to play in accreditation. One is in the accreditation process. The Academic Senate needs to be involved, needs to be providing the faculty perspective, the faculty input on things like the show cause report. We've done a lot of work with reviewing the show cause report, offering suggestions for its revision, talking about what really needs to be in here to make sure it's an accurate report. I'm one of the people that is required to sign the report, right? And I can only sign it if I can say, oh yes, this is really accurate.
Okay.
So there's that aspect. And then for some of the recommendations, one of the recommendations was about student learning outcomes. Actually, several of the recommendations were about student learning outcomes, which of course is the work of faculty primarily. There are roles for other folks in that, but the faculty work on the student learning outcomes, and of course you're here at City College, everybody now at City College knows that what student learning outcomes is identifying what students are going to learn in a course, in a program, as they get a degree, and then doing assessment to see are students really learning that, and then analyzing that for improvement. How can we teach better? How can we structure our programs better? What can we do to improve student learning, right? So we had not been up to snuff, particularly in terms of the kinds of documentation and closing the loop, the assessments that we were doing. The faculty really put themselves into high gear in really even before the fall semester started. The show cause came through in the beginning of July, and even before the fall semester started, people were really working on what can we do. So the Academic Senate played a role in supporting that process. We arranged for a special staff development day in September. We were the initiators of starting the process for identifying what are the learning outcomes for the institution as a whole, and things of that nature. So student learning outcomes is one of the areas in which we've been very active. Another area has to do with governance.